Enlightenment is increased suffering, increased sufferance. Why? Because once you enlighten yourself, of the understanding of the universal truths and laws, right? And you, by choice, deliberately still decide to and choose to turn your head, turn your focus from it, and turn your back to it, and still choose to decide to do the wrong things, it's like, it's basically, people that understand what they need to do, yet they don't do it. They understand what they need to do, but by definition, the word understand, it means to know it. And to know something, you must be doing it. Currently, you must be doing it, meaning that you do it on your day-to-day basis. If it's something that you don't do on a day-to-day basis right now, currently, that means you cannot say you understand it, because to understand, it means to know it. And Frank, can't remember his last name, but Frank something said, to know it and to not do it is to not know it at all. Meaning that you can't say you understand something just by reading about it, just by hearing about it, just by seeing it. You can't say you understand it. What you can say is, oh, I heard about so and so, and it's such and such. You can say, oh, I saw such and such. And you can say, I read such and such. You cannot say you understand what it is that you're describing. Only way you can say you understand it is it's if you're currently doing it on your day-to-day basis. And just with anything in life, by doing it is how you know it. You don't know it by not doing it, right? Like, let's say you're working right now, maybe a sales position, maybe a real estate agent, a car dealership, or insurance agent, or marketing online, or any positions that requires your performance, right? As long as you are showing up every single day and leaving it all on the line and being consistent with it and showing up, you can say that you understand it, right? Just by hearing about it. Or if you stop doing it, you can't no longer say you understand it, because now you're not doing it. You can say, I've done it and that's how it was, but now since you're not doing it, you can't say you understand it. And so basically, once you enlighten, right? And that's what you have to do. You have to constantly reach that state of enlightenment, because enlightenment is a state of awareness. And we, throughout our day, are in different states of awareness, right? From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. And if we don't have a process, a daily process, a process that centers us, aligns us with our goals, right? And reminds us why we're doing what we're doing, and makes it clear what we need to do, right? Then what happens is, then we end up being all over the place. Throughout the year, we end up being all over the place. And then at the end of the year, we're gonna look back and be like, shit. We didn't reach any goals. Well, the reason for that is you set the goals, you set the objectives, but you did not pull through every single day, day in and day out. That's where your next level lies. Your next level, your level up is in those things that you're missing, the little things. See, that's what it gets down to. When you become, in the beginning, as a beginner, it's gonna be overwhelming to think that you can just pick up mathematics in one day. Okay, sure, you can pick up 1, 2, 3, meaning that what is 1? I drop 1 paper clip, that's 1. What is 2? I drop 2 paper clips, that's 2. You're just picking up what the numbers mean. Why do you think you're gonna pick up the whole mathematics in one day if you are just beginning to, you can't understand something if you're not doing it. And as you're doing it, you're understanding it more and more. You cannot fully understand anything. That's why I say you don't know what you don't know. And there's never gonna be a day that you know everything. Okay? Every single day, you gotta be a student. Every single day, you gotta say, I don't know what I don't know. And you gotta keep learning more. Yeah? And so, once you become enlightened about something, about a way of living, right? About a way of conducting yourself in a manner, in a behavior, and you turn your back to it and still decide to do the opposite, it's like it's like laying in a pile of shit, right? What do I mean when I say it's like laying in a pile of shit? It means it's shit. It's not gonna hurt you, but what it is you do not like it because it stinks, it's gross, and it's fucking shit. Nobody's gonna wanna come around shit. So if you become enlightened to something, right, and that something requires you to make a change, but the reason you won't make a change is because laying in a pile of shit is more comfortable than making that change, getting up and making the change that you need to do, which is gonna require some effort, right? And it's gonna require you to do the things that you don't want to do. So how can you get yourself to do the things that you don't want to do? Is through understanding. See, when you decide to ignore things, what happens is you're gonna pay with regret, you're gonna pay with anxiety, you're gonna pay with depression, you're gonna pay with doubt, you're gonna pay with worry, you're gonna pay with fear, you're gonna pay with shame, you're gonna pay with guilt, you're gonna pay with grief, apathy, desires, anger. All these low negative frequency vibrations are what you're gonna pay with. And the vicious things about these low negative vibrational frequency is when you are in that state of awareness, in these low negative vibrational frequency, you think that the whole world is like that. It's as if you are, because you never see the world, you see yourself all the time. So when you're in that state of awareness, you are thinking that the world is like that, but it's far from the truth. It's only what you're resonating with. See, you're vibrating, everything else is vibrating, and so what you're gonna resonate with, just like a radio in a car, you turn it to a channel and it only gets that channel, right? It only attracts and resonates with that channel of frequency. Just like you're the same way. Now, that's what I mean when I say, when you become enlightened of something, a certain way of living, a certain way of conducting yourself, a certain pattern or behavior that you have that is leading you down the wrong way, that is leading you down to depression, anxiety, and fear, and you're still deciding to choose to just lay in that pile of shit, that's like you're turning your back to what God has planned for you. God has much bigger and better things planned for you, but just because you don't see them, right? What it is you want the whole path to be lit. You want it to be all shown to you, all given to you, but that's not how God works. See, because God doesn't need you. You need God. God doesn't need you to worship him. You need to worship God, right? And you need to show God that you are grateful for everything that he has given you so far. And once you become grateful for the things that he has given you so far, he'll give you more. Because why would he give you more if you're not already grateful for the things that you have, right? And then show God you're courageous, content, secure, and confident. You first begin there, and then you must conduct the work below, because God is going to talk to you through your conscience, right? God is going to tell you what to do. And it's going to be the little things. It's not going to be conquer the world in one day. It's going to be the little steps. But you have to basically, once you enlighten yourself about something a certain way, maybe a certain person that you maybe you need to walk away from, right? Maybe certain people you need to walk away from. Maybe certain habits you need to walk away from. Maybe certain actions you need to stop doing. Maybe you need to eat a certain way. You felt like, hey, one time when you adopted that diet and you felt really good, but because what you see on social media and what your friends are doing and they're glorifying that bitch ass pussy ass pleasure chasing shit, you tend to get pulled into that shit back again. And then you wonder why you're depressed, fear, anger, all those negative vibrations. It's because once you become enlightened, the suffering increases. The reason suffering increases is because you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it. So there's two sides to it. One side is ignoring, and one side is understanding. So yes, the suffering is gonna be increased when you get enlightened, but also, just like the suffering is gonna be increased, the happiness, the inner bliss, the inner peace, that reward is going to be increased as well, right? And it's going to be more satiating, more satisfying, and more true to who you are, rather than the fake ass just glow, the little glimpse, that quick, that shit's gonna be taken away from you. And you rely on external stimuli. You rely on other people, other things like alcohol, weed, vape, pills, lean, womanizing, and clubbing, instead of relying on the outside. Now it's like you are love, you are peace, you are bliss, you are excitement, you are joy. So it's like you don't have to go anywhere, you're right where you need to be. But that comes as you walk that path. God is telling you, you must walk that path. Whatever you become enlightened to, you must not turn your back to it, but rather you must adopt that way of living. Adopt that way of living, which is a supernatural way of living, which is what's gonna get you to your desired reality, the desired relationships, the desired outcome, materially, income, car, house, clothes, whatever you want. Is gonna get you to those quicker, much quicker, if you just stop listening to the outside world. Stop listening to you left and right, and just really tap into what God is telling you to do, right? So on this beautiful Wednesday, we woke up early, we sat down with the divines, we self-actualized, self-realized, and after self-actualizing and realizing, we're self-transcending. I love you guys, I appreciate you, let's go!